Okay, so in this video tutorial I'm going to show you today how to use Microsoft Access. It is literally going to be a very quick introduction. I'm going to show you how to create a blank database. I'm going to show you how to import this file, which consists of a number of fields and records, into Microsoft Access. I'm going to show you how to create a primary key, data types, add records, delete records, create a query. I'm going to show you how to use a query to create a report, and then how to export the report into an external file format. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is click on this button here within Microsoft Access called Blank Database. I'm going to give the file a name, just going to call it cars, and then I'm going to press create. Now it's going to say that the file already exists, which is fine because I created one previously. You will hopefully not see this error message. So as you can see, we've got a empty database called table1. What we need to do is import this file into the database, but the very first thing that I need to do is close down this file, otherwise we'll get an error message. So I'm going to click on external data, text file, and then I'm going to browse to the location that the cars file is saved. Okay, and then I'm going to press OK. Now when we import the actual file, we'll see what the data looks like. Okay, now this is basically a CSV file, which is a comma separated value file. So all these values here are separated by commas. Okay, that's why we import it as a text file. Okay, just press next. This screen here is incredibly important because it allows us to decide whether or not we want the first row to be the name of the fields. Okay, and in this instance we do. Okay, because if we don't select this box, then the fields are going to be called field 1, field 2, field 3, so on and so forth, which is not what we want. Okay, we want this first row here to be the name of the field. So I'm going to tick this box, then press next again, because we can change the data types later on. This screen here allows us to create a primary key. A primary key is basically a unique identifier. It's a field which contains unique data. It basically allows or basically stops duplicate records from being created. That's always important to have a primary key. Now in this example, if we didn't have a primary key, then we wouldn't have a field that is unique. So we need to create a primary key. So in this example, we're going to let Access add the primary key, which is going to be ID. And as you can see, all the records for ID are all unique. Press next, and then this is just what we're going to say. We're just going to import the data to a table called cars. We'll see another box come up, and in the bottom right corner, just going to click on close, and then as you can see in this top left hand corner, you can see a table that's been created called cars. I'm going to double click on this. We don't actually need this table here, so I'm just going to close that table. Now as you can see, we've got several headings, several fields. Okay, starting with ID, manufacturer, model, color, price, okay, etc, etc. Okay, now we need to start thinking about the names of these fields. Okay, some of them are incredibly long. Okay, price, we bought the car for. Okay, the fields are just too long. So we're going to go to home, view, and then we're going to go into design view. Okay, now you can see this little symbol here that symbolizes that this is the primary key. Now we can actually change the primary key if we wanted to, but we're not going to in this instance here. Okay, so the name of these fields are way too long, so we're going to change them so that there's something short and something more appropriate. So that could be manufacturer, bought, so that could be buying price, and then this one here, price that we will sell the car for, could be selling price. Okay, now over here, these are the data types. So data type is basically where you're telling Access or the database what type of data to expect. Now, buying price technically is a number, okay, but we're going to change it to currency. I'm going to change the same thing again to currency. Okay. Now, obviously, you have a range of different ones. ID has been set to auto number, so that when we create a new record, this will auto populate. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean by that now. Now we could change Also, for the currency data type, we can actually change the format. So we can, from this field here, from the format field, we can actually change it to anything that we basically want. So I'm just going to set it to euros for the time being, and then we can set it to how many decimal places we want. So I'm just going to say auto, and remember to do the same thing for this box here for consistency. Okay, now when we go back to our database by looking at data sheet view, I'm going to save the database first, and then as you can see, the fields are much better, and then we've also applied a bit of formatting as well. Okay, now we can add a record. So if we scroll down here, it shows us that the 67 record. Now to add a record, all we need to do is click on this one here, and then as soon as I start typing, the ID field will auto populate. So I'm going to type in Ford, I'll type in Ford Escort, it can be red, and then this can be, the buying price can be 4,000, and we're going to sell it for 4,500, and it was produced in 2006, and it has air conditioning. Okay, does it need to be serviced? Yeah, yes it does. Okay, so that's basically how you add a record. Okay, now we can delete a record as well by just right clicking on the side, going down to delete record. That will ask us if we want to delete it, press yes, and that record has now been deleted. Okay, so this is basically a flat file database, and a flat file database is just a database with one table. Okay, there are relational databases, but this video will not be showing you how to create a relational database. Now, next thing I want to show you is how to create a query. Now, query is basically a search within a database. So I'm going to click on query. I'm going to go to query wizard. You can actually go to query design as well if you wanted to, but I'm going to show you query wizard. Click on query wizard. We're going to choose a simple query wizard. Which fields do you want to appear in your query? Okay, so I'm going to say all of them apart from just kind of cleaning, extras, and ID. Okay, actually we'll keep ID in there just for the time being. Okay, and I'm going to get the information from this car's table. Press next, and then we're going to click on modify the query design. This is where you can create a title for your query. So I'm going to click on modify the query design and press finish. Now this field here basically allows you to enter the information that you want to see. So I could say, for example, just scroll this down a little bit here, I'm going to say, right, I want you to show all cars that are Ford. Okay, and I'll press run, and that shows me all the manufacturer that has cars that are Ford. I'll go back into design view, say, right, okay, I want to see all cars that are Ford, but I also want to see all cars that are Ford Escorts. I'll press run again, and that shows me all cars that are Ford Escorts. Now perhaps you want to see a car that has a selling price that is less than 4,000. Press run, shows all cars that are less than, that have a selling price of less than 4,000. So if you have a customer that has a particular budget, then this will allow you to very quickly find out all cars that they can actually afford. Then you can mix and match the field as well. So you can say, right, I want to see all cars that are Ford or Toyota, and press run. That shows all the manufacturers that are Ford and Toyota, and I want to see the cars that are less than 4,000. Okay, I'll press run. Okay, then that shows all of the suitable records according to our query. Now we can use this query to then create a report. So we're going to go to report. So if you imagine, for example, you own a showroom, your customer comes and wants to see all cars that are Toyota or Ford that have a selling price of less than a particular price. So then basically what we need to do is produce a report that they can take home with them. So we're going to go into report wizard. I'm going to save this query first. Now in the report you can choose, right, what fields do we want to see. Now in this report we're not going to include the ID. Now we don't want to include the ID because that's not something that the customer needs to see. The customer is going to want to see who's made the car, the actual model, the colour, the buying price, selling price. Right, probably don't even need to see the buying price, just call it the selling price and the year. So that is information that's going to appear in our report. And then I'm going to press next, and then I'm going to sort the cars in order of we'll say selling price. So it's going to be ascending order of selling price. Press next. We want the report to be in portrait. Next, and then this allows us to actually choose the style of the report. I'm just going to choose this one for the time being, aspect. Then press next again. I'm going to modify the report, and then I'm going to press finish. Okay. Now this is basically what our report kind of looks like. Okay, so we can add a heading report. So we can say something like Mr. Jones car query. Okay, and then we can move this into the middle if we wanted to. If we wanted to, we could add a logo to the report. So if we look to see what this report looks like through the report view, this is what our report looks like. Okay. Now, if you can imagine the customer having a logo, the organisation having a logo there, it starts looking a bit more professional. Now, obviously, this is still in Microsoft Access, so we want to try and export this so that it looks a little bit more professional. So all what we're going to do is click on External Data, and then we're going to click on More, and then actually let's just do it to a Word document. Yeah, so we can click on Word, and then I'm going to save this as an RTF file, or you can save it as a .doc if you want to, so it's a Word file within this folder here. Okay, and then I'm just going to click on Open the destination file after it's been exported. So then it's going to export it, and then after a few moments it's going to open up Microsoft Word, and then it should hopefully create a report which has got a title, it's got the name of the fields. If you wanted to put a logo, you could have done that in the actual report as well, and then you can provide this to your customer. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so like I said, it's a very quick video that basically shows you how to import a file into a database table, how to create primary ID, how to set data types, how to do a little bit of formatting, how to add and delete records, how to create a query, and how to use that query to create a report. Further on, you can then also use that report and export it to another external format. Now, one or two other things that you can do, just out of interest, is that within your report, if you go back into so if we go back into design view, then at the bottom we can actually highlight the field, and then if we wanted to know how much all the cars cost, for example, we could click on totals, and then we could work out the sum. Okay, and that will tell us how much the total price is. So if we go back into report view, then down here at the bottom it tells us that the total prices are 86,975 euros. We could work out, we could see how many cars are also in this report by clicking on view, going into layout view, or going into design view again, clicking on manufacturer, go to totals, and then we can count the records. Then here at the bottom, very quickly, it's on a formula which will specify in the report how many records there are. So we can see from here that there are 13 records. Now, say for example you're not quite happy with the actual layout of the columns, you go to view and then go to layout view, and then you can click on each column, and then you can actually reduce the size of them if you wanted to. So if you wanted to add more fields but you're struggling for space, then this is one of the ways in which you can reduce the size of the fields to be able to make sure that all the reports actually fit. So if we go now into print preview, this is what it would look like, but obviously the title there is missing because of reduce the size of the fields. That's something that you need to be wary of. Right, that is basically it from me. Hopefully you've learned how to use a flat file database and do various different types of things within there.